We're gonna play a little introduction of the Riverside music to get the rhythm flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. Let's
Hey,
go.
Powered by Riverside.
hey, wow,
Uce.
let's go. We are now tuned in to another episode of the Uce Podcast. I'm your host, Morphanua,
I'm Ely.
and you are now live on YouTube, baby. So, anyways, for everybody that's gathering around, man, go ahead and drum roll. We are here, baby. We have arrived, and we are talking about TikTok, man, because that's the hot thing right now, man. We are advocates for TikTok. So the CEO out there, man, we're here to represent you. What for going malo? Some chic, some shack, come on, funny,
Say, what's on my fire? Come on, early man.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, man, we are bringing it out because not only that, man, don't you know I got the red hat on? If you like our merch, man, go ahead and cop it at thewildeuce.com, baby. But why do I got red? Because they're talking about this Red Note app. This Red Note app in Japan is a new thing, man. We're all going to Red Note.
China, bro, China.
No, it's in Japan. It's Japanese. The Red Note is in Japan.
What? Then why are people learning Mandarin?
Oh, Mandarin is
bro. Maloligas of China.
Yeah, man.
On the app from China.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Behind the Lava on Michael Chan, motherfucker. Anyways, man, we're talking about this. Why are we talking about this, Ely? Why are we talking about TikTok?
It's supposed to be banned in a few days. I think Sunday.
Hello.
And that's why everybody's migrating to the Red Note. So we want to hear people's thoughts, and we want to share our little thoughts about TikTok ourselves. We love TikTok.
Are we doing that? Why are we doing that here at the Riverside.fm, man? Because this is the app that Uce uses. You see how it's nice and improved our background. You got the live studio in the back, man. Man, there ain't no other better app to do this. When you want a podcast like the Uce does, man, this is where you tune into. Cop yours on the description. It's below. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post that link below. Don't go to the website. Come to our link. Famolmole. Famolmole means please. You know what I'm saying? Because give me some money. You know what I'm saying? So you'll find that down here, man. And if you want tutorials on it, they do all that for you, man. Matter of fact, we just picked this shit up about 3 weeks ago. And look at how far we came, man. They have tutorials, all that stuff. So I don't need to make videos for you guys. Riverside FM will go ahead and they got all that ready for you. If you want to do the pro thing like we're doing, it's about a little bit below $50, but it will give you all this exclusive things right here. You got the logo, the Uce logo on the screen. You got us looking nice and professional like ESPN and everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwayne Johnson, my uncle. If you have a chance, go ahead and come to the Uce Podcast and let the world know that I am your nephew. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're going back to TikTok, baby. We're going back to TikTok, man. Why are we talking about TikTok? Because it's supposed to be banned on the 19th, right? Yep, the 19th. The 19th is 3 days away, baby. But what happened? We got news that some Congress dude or whatever
Senator.
position he is in, Senator, thank you, Senator, extended it for how many days now?
Well, 290 days. But hey, something else came up, bro. It says Supreme Court decision on looming TikTok ban could come this Friday. Crazy.
Wait, what ban?
TikTok ban. The Supreme Court's decision on a looming TikTok ban could come this Friday. So the U.S. Supreme Court's why? So let me read you something from ABC News. This just came out today around 1:46 p.m. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision could come Friday in the case about whether TikTok must shut down in a few days under federal law that seeks to force its sale by the Chinese company that owns the social media platform.
Damn.
There's hope.
There's hope. And that's why we came back on because, you know what I'm saying, we finished our episode earlier, but you know what I'm saying, we got to cover this because that's what we're all about nowadays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming on because we feel like there's a hoax in all this, right? Is it a hoax? Is that the right word for it, cuz? Like, you know what I'm saying?
The
This is
hoax,
all
yeah, for what?
conspiracy
The
because
ban?
why? Uh, the band because they're trying to do the whole thing with the well I from the news sources that I receive from my friend that has a friend that knows a friend, it's talking about that it has everything linked for Donald Trump, right? Because Donald
Mm-hmm.
Trump said that he's for TikTok. He's going to fight for TikTok. And that's again the Democrat Party. Like I said, my friend that knew somebody that knows somebody was saying this is a whole hoax thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that's at. Oh, right here, you talking about this fool right here? Let me go ahead and share the screen, man. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of investigation. Let's just talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. And again, we also got Young Uce here with us. Anyways, well, Young Uce, you want to come up here and say what's up to the people?
Show his face.
So there you go, Young
Hello.
Uce.
Malo.
There you go. There you
Hello,
go.
viewers.
Yeah, we're gonna also have Young Uce here chime in because you know what I'm saying. We also got to be transparent. We got to hear it from the what generation is this guy? They're like the generation Kaziva, because I'm a millennial, and then we got Ely here, Generation X, Z, whatever you guys are.
X.
There you go,
X.
X. All right, so we got 3 generations talking about our own opinion on how we feel about this. Is it this guy right here? Was this a dude?
Nah, that wasn't him.
Okay,
That's not him. That's
which
okay.
one?
It's an older guy from Pennsylvania, I believe.
Oh, but
That's
anyways, let's go with the red
Of
note
what
there.
nation are you a citizen?
China.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
No. I was born Chinese. I don't have to apply.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
No.
Do you have any other passports from any other?
No. See, Senator, your people came to us because they're tired of your bullshit.
Hello.
If you could stop lying to your people and stop messing with them, they might like you. But they hate you so much they're learning a new language. And we all know how lazy American people are. And people are having a good time on our apps. So I say you leave them alone.
Ooh.
Okay, that's one of them. But anyways, fuck that dude, because I ain't trying to learn any other language, dude. I'm Samoan and American. But anyways, that's just my own personal opinion, man. So we can't find a guy right now because we ain't got a producer out there that can help us find these stuff like Pat Bake David and all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just myself being the producer. Yeah, I must just scroll down. Do you see anything right here that stands out? Because I just put in the TikTok CEO versus senators.
No.
Nothing.
I'll look for it.
Oh, well, this is 3 days ago, but this guy right here, let's hear what he has to say.
Hello, sir. Today we are here to talk about TikTok, your citizenship, and your intentions with TikTok, and what you plan to use it and how you plan to use it, and if you are affiliated with any groups that do not have the best interest of the United States of America. Sir, if I may, what language do you speak? English, like every American, born and raised in the God's country with red blood flowing through their veins. What language do people in Britain speak? English. So are you British? No.
That's my first time seeing that one. Queen done left us, y'all. So anyways, Queen, are you American?
I'm American.
Anyways, while we're waiting for Queen to get on, man, Young Wiles, man, get up in here, man. So what's your thought with this whole TikTok thing being banned and stuff? Come on, let's go in here, man.
My thought is I think that it is unacceptable. This is I think it's a good thing.
There you go.
I think it's a good thing that they're trying to ban TikTok because TikTok is not a very good it's not a very user friendly, not a very child friendly app. You see all kinds of nonsense on there, and other people might say otherwise, but I'm Young Wiles for a reason because I'm a dog. I'm the best.
So you're against TikTok? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sincerely against TikTok.
So do you want to tell the audience? Didn't you meet like a friend on TikTok and made some money on TikTok?
Oh, man.
Talk to us about that one. So I'm just curious, right? Because you say you're against TikTok, right? But you enjoy TikTok Live. Why?
Wow, that's a great question. I enjoy TikTok because I find other people on TikTok. It's good to talk with other Samoans. Not only that, I almost found the love of my life get to find out.
But you just said you're against TikTok, man. So which one is it, yo?
I plead the fifth on all charges. I have the right. I have the law. I'm a citizen. So pleading the fifth, that gives you basically the right to remain silent. So I plead fifth on all charges, sir. Thank you.
Anyways, guys, we wanted to get on here and talk about our TikTok because TikTok, we feel like it's a good thing. And why does America government want to ban it? Well, we can only assume why, but that's up to y'all, man. Let us know what you think, man. Drop a comment below the link. That's what we got. That's a little special edition, man. As we're heading out, just want to play a little bit more. What you think about the beat, though?
Powered by Riverside.
8 out of 10. 0.5 for skill. 381. Thank you very much.
Oh, now y'all singing.
Did you hear what young white who said he's against TikTok? Come on in here, man.
Sorry.
He's young white. Did you hear what young white said? He said he's against.
I got lost a little bit. What's up?
Okay, so he said he's against TikTok, but then I was asking him, okay, well, hold on. You were just on TikTok Live, and you almost met the love of your life on TikTok Live. Then you asking people, like, give me some money, and you got a few galaxies. How many galaxies did you get on TikTok?
5.
So I'm trying to understand. You don't like TikTok. You're all about what the U.S. government is saying, but then you're making money off of it. Which one is it, man?
I'm just in it for the money. Thank you very much. I'm the best.
Why don't you like TikTok?
I don't like TikTok because I think it's not a child-friendly app. It's not where kids should be. Focus on school. Be the best. Use your mind.
Oh, look at it. The bullshit. No, on a real though. On a real, you really seriously feel like that TikTok is not a good app? Like you think that it should be banned in the U.S.?
You know what? If the higher ups say that it should be banned, then it should be banned.
Why though?
You gonna let the higher up think for you?
That's how the world works. I mean, nowadays, New York Times, I watched a video on YouTube Shorts, New York Times, the news, the newspapers, it's not what the higher ups think. It's what us people, us as the minority think about the situation. Give me a round of applause for that.
Let me go ahead and force one for you.
I'm still trying to download what you just said.
You lost us, yo.
You just talked about two different things in one sentence.
Yeah. Pay attention. Whatever. I'm trying to teach young white Uce to listen, but you know what? Because we listen and we don't judge.
Sure.
Go ahead. Come on. Why don't you ask him a question about the TikTok? We're trying to, okay.
So you said, okay, now you're saying it's not with the higher ups, it's with the New York Times. So now we're going to go with New York Times. So that's what you're thinking. That's your reasoning of disagreeing or disliking TikTok because of what New York Times people said.
Not only what New York Times people say, but it's just the higher ups. We know that there's bad things and good things to think about TikTok.
Okay.
We know the bad and we know the good. And if the higher ups think, just like parents, if parents think that they're doing what they're doing is right, then they, we got to listen.
Not bad.
Wrong one. There you go. I'll give you a little clap for that one. I'll give you when you do the parenting there. Now that's a lot more better argument that you have. You're throwing parenting there.
But when you can listen, but do you have to agree to what you're listening to?
No, you don't. If you understand where they're coming from, that's all you need. That's all you have to. You just got to understand where they're coming from, even though you don't disagree or agree with them. Just got to listen and see where they're coming from.
Okay. Good point. I'm glad that you don't like TikTok because you said there's a lot of bad things. So can you give us examples of some of the bad things?
I made almost $50 on TikTok, so I can't really complain.
No, you're So again, the question is, do you prefer TikTok not to be in America? Yes or no? I mean, you just made $50. Yes or no? That's a simple question. Just give us a yes or no. And think about it. You just made $50. You almost met the love of your life, and you're telling us it's a no.
I mean, the love of my life was actually my cousin, actually my auntie's.
Did you know? You found out you were family?
I didn't know. I didn't know that was my auntie, but my auntie's on the wrong app. That's the kind of nonsense that I'm talking about, where kids, they shouldn't, that's not the right app for kids to be using.
And that is exactly why you don't have a phone.
So
that's why I took it away from you.
So what Young White Uce is saying, basically, 17 and under should not be on TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, I turned 18 this year, so yes.
But yes.
So
I can't wait.
Just hearing from the Young White Uce, he likes TikTok, but he don't like TikTok. He doesn't want to ban it because he's making money from it.
Yes, ma'am.
Final answer. You just had a bad experience, the love of your life, and then all of a sudden you find out. Did you ask questions to your parents, or how did you find out that you guys were related?
Oh, John. Why Uce? So that's
Tell the story, man. You know how, but when I talk about like being, what is it, authentic?
I'm very authentic.
Okay, go ahead, tell the story, man. The why? How did it all come? How did you find out? How did you find out that the was gonna be the love of your life turned out to be a family member?
So how I found out was I was working. I was on the clock. Got off the clock and Uce was on the phone with seems to be one of the Usos. And I guess one of the Usos' wife was on TikTok. And come to find out, we're related. And so what I did, she said, I asked who he was on the phone with as I was getting off, and he said Crystal. And so I said, damn.
No, you can't believe it. We're live. We're live, yo.
Hey, go ahead and blur out.
We can't blur it out, but it's a good thing we got a lot of listeners right now, so that can be on a.
We can edit,
live,
yeah. Okay, so
like Crystal Burgers. So carry on. Don't
So Miss Burgers, she I said hi, Crystal, and I guess she did her research and get to find out. She knows, who I'm from and where I'm from and where I come from and what I'm about, and yeah.
No, okay. Let me help Young Uce out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. One of the homies or the Uso calls me like, bro. No, actually, he was texting me. Uce, is this Young Uce? From his what was it? That Tupac thing, the dancing. Give me what you like. That. Remember that one with the Christmas he was doing? How do you want it? Yeah, that one, right? So I'm like, yeah. How'd you know? He's like, bro, call me. So I called the Uce up, and I'm like, bro, how you know, nephew Young Uce, his real name and stuff.
yeah.
You're not going to put it on there because that's too much government. That's federal.
Yeah. So he said, Uce, tell me why Young Uce here hitting on my wife, because my wife's sitting right next to me and saying, bro.
Give me a pata for that one.
Oh my god.
I'm the best. All you ladies out there.
And being the Uce, he's like, we were laughing and dying. We're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, hold on, wait. If that's your wife, that means they're related. That's your wife. Okay? So long story short, that's what happened. That's how Young Uce found out. But to his defense, he didn't know, never met her in her life. You know what I'm saying? It's what we know. If it ain't my third cousin, then we ain't relative. No.
So you were DMing her, weren't you? So you had no idea. You guys never talked or anything?
I met her on TikTok Live.
So you're saying she engaged on the conversation with you?
I engaged in the conversation.
Oh, so you engaged and she just listened and told her husband you were trying to hit on her.
So to all the older ladies that are watching, you already know you already know where to go.
Hey,
go ahead and watch the episodes. I already shot myself out.
He likes the older women. Oh gosh, now all them cougars gonna come after you, young Uce.
As long as they give you Galaxy, right?
Just give me some money. Just give me some money.
Malo, young
But that's where
Uce.
it's at, man. I know my little young white Uce, man. But anyways, going back to it, guys, why Uce is predicting TikTok is not going to get banned, right? Ely, are we agreeing
I
on
agree.
that? That's why we came on this live, because we're like, hey, people are panicking. And they're panicking because why? If that's your only revenue is through TikTok, then again, that's kind of your fault. Because you got to be like why Uce and all other entrepreneurs. You got to guide your people to your website.
Utilize other platforms.
There you go. And for why Uce, rather TikTok comes and goes, it's like that song says, man, it's been a long time not seeing you again. Fuck. You know what I mean? But if they stay with us, that's going to be beneficial to the Why Uce, because we do have a lot of friends that we met through TikTok, right? There's a lot of great people that we
shout out to my baby girl Toker. Hey, I could care less.
Baby
You got
girl.
the husband, you know what I'm saying?
Toker.
Yes, baby girl. You already know what it is.
Baby girl. Any other shout outs you want to give out there, young Uce?
I know.
Man. Nah, just my baby girl Toker, she sent me some roses.
She sent some roses. Toker, you listening, Toker? You know what I'm saying? Wait a few months. Give him a couple months, he'll be at age.
Are we going to get in trouble for this because we're soliciting a young kid?
Oh, yeah, disclaimer. This is all just for pure entertainment. Everything that you see on the Uce Podcast, first of all, check our bio. It's linked below. It puts all our disclaimer out there. This is all for entertainment purposes. And this is how us Samoans are, man. We like to mess around, talk a little smack, you know what I mean? And just kind of go about our ways. This young man's going to be a star, though. I truly believe in that. And one of the things that Uce has been doing is trying to also be a mentor of positivity, because in our society as Polynesians, we frown upon social media and just anything that has to do with content creating and stuff like that. But the data doesn't lie, guys. If you go on YouTube, there are a lot of young generations,
young sexy men.
Take away the sexy. Yeah, young adults that are just making a good living off of YouTube, TikTok, and any other social media platform. So we are striving to build young Uce here. Follow him when he gets his own phone.
Just wait till I come out. You got to stay down till you come up. Just know.
And the only time he'll get his phone will be this year.
No, it'll be next year.
It'll be this year, June, right? Because that's when.
When do you turn 18?
Whenever you want me.
Yeah.
Sound like that ngayon, man.
Love it.
Anything that we have on the TikTok, I mean, like we said, we don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, you hear this, we feel like that. Well, I personally feel like it's a thing, another attack towards Donald Trump becoming the 2015 U.S. president.
2015?
2025. 2025 U.S. president of the United States, right?
Right.
I believe that's all that is, and that's where I stand at. What about you? Do you feel like? Well, I'm not going to ask you because you don't pay attention to that part, man. What about you, Ely? Where do you stand at with that?
It's absolutely political. I really believe it's political. These parties just be going at each other's throats because it's Trump, because it's not Trump, and then now they want to go after it. Before they didn't even think about it. But the bottom line is just trying to suppress people's voices, because on TikTok people can be free, just like X, like I mentioned earlier. So it's all political reasons behind every little move that they're doing. So yeah.
You know what I think? I think that if they're trying to ban TikTok, they should go ahead and ban all the social medias. Reason why? Ask me why. Why? Ask me why.
Why,
Uce.
Uce?
I sincerely think that if they're trying to take down TikTok, if they think that TikTok is bad, they should just take down all the social medias, because my reasoning is it doesn't make sense. It just, as us us listening to political people, like what you're saying, they're attacking each other's throat. It's words against words. It's literally, we can literally do the same thing what we're doing right now. It's just higher up people. They just think that they got a title. They just have a title. We're all human beings at the end of the day, and I think that if they're really thinking about taking down TikTok, they should go ahead and look at Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, got a lot of
Provocative
things, a lot of
stuff.
provocative things that are going on, and it just doesn't make sense for them to be taking it down without reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, they're using TikTok as saying that it's a foreign thing because China is in charge of it. And as we always know, in the U.S., the enemies is China and Russia. They're pumping that in our face. But like I said before with Kumada, the UFC fighters, these are representative of of Russia, and the way they bring in the culture is through religion and stuff like that. Again, Putin and all of these leaders, just like with the government, they're the one that's controlling the narrative, trying to control the narrative. You know what I mean?
Yep. Today on Uce, we want to highlight Miss Ella Elisara out of Oklahoma real estate.
Ella, Samoan beauty.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Samoan Beauty on TikTok. You can go to her Facebook. She's doing real estate out in Oklahoma. I didn't get her website, but let's go support our very own. She's a veteran. She retired from the Air Force, and you can find her on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. If you're looking for a house out in Oklahoma, hit up Ella Elisara.
All right, we're going right to our next segment. So why do we bring this up? Well, first of all, why Uce was myself, Mofanua was at work, showed one of our clips, you know what I'm saying, to one of my buddies co-worker at work. And while I'm talking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. Podcast. Well, we keep it real, raw, and relevant. Today I'm talking about $4.5 million. So
okay, we're talking about LBJ, American Samoa.
Yeah, the LBJ one, right? So, and I'm showing the audience this, especially because you guys are all here live with us, to paint the picture. So I show that, and to my surprise, because the video I believe was about 5 minutes, and he was captivated from the beginning to the end. So I did the job, right? He said, "Man, this is great, bro. This is really great. It's too bad I can't relate because I'm not Samoan." The brother could not relate because he was not Samoan. And I was just like, man, I never looked at it like that. Because the Uce Podcast is vision is to go global. The whole point of us is to have a voice for Polynesians.
Right.
So that everyone around the world, especially for us living in the U.S., you know what I'm saying? A lot of our people, our circle, our surrounding, they enjoy being around us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just in somewhat ways, it was kind of like, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't want to put any in it. It's for me, I was like, well, I feel like every time I'm around folks, they really like my aura and they enjoy my company. And I find a lot of them is for security too, if that makes any sense. What I'm saying is like, so I wanted to be like, to have a podcast of a blue book of like how to be like Samoans. Not that I'm saying, hey, go ahead and be Samoan, but to have that same kind of swag is what they say, or persona. Like we really don't give two shits about whatever life is. It's like we're still proud of who we are, if that makes any sense. I hope I'm making sense what I'm saying. But so I talked to Ely. I'm like, hey, cuz, you know what's so crazy about this? You know what I'm saying? That one of my buddies said that it was too bad I'm not Samoan. So I was like, wow, we need to make it to like it's Samoan. Then he also went on like, man, the only thing I think about, because you're Samoan and got money, we need to talk. I want to know what happened about JF Kennedy Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and that whole measles. And you know what? I feel so bad because I'm Samoan and I know nothing about that measles disease. I heard a little bit about it, but didn't really pay much attention to it. So, and that's why we came up with this topic: JFK, Robert F. Kennedy. Did I say that right? I think I did. Yeah.
Yes, she
So come
did.
on. There you go. That's the story right there, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to directly go to the fact of why is his name, to my surprise too, because it's current right now that some of these senators or governors allegedly, specifically the one in Hawaii, I don't know if he's a governor or a mayor or whatever. He's the new guy that's and he's advocating to like, hey man, he does not fit the position to be the next health what is it, the department, some kind of position that JFK the president Donald
President
Trump
Trump
is,
has
appointed him
appointed
to.
to be
Yeah,
one of his cabinet members.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to talk about. Well, that's what I found from that part.
hmm
And I wanted to be what is it, non-biased, because we really try our best to just give you guys, hey, this is what we found out, but leave it to you, the audience, to decide on your own. We're not saying that he was right, that he's the cause of the measles disease that was back in 2019 in Samoa. We're also not going to say like, oh, he wasn't. We just are here to give you our take on what we found from the information for the little stuff that we looked into. Do you have anything to that? What's your thoughts on that one, cousin? From your part, because I know you've seen the video that I posted.
I'm glad the video brought attention, like from one of your coworkers, and I want to just touch a little bit more about the how like we wanted to focus on the Polynesian community, and but for him to actually come in and say that he loved the video, but he couldn't relate, which is it's great that he brought that up, and the fact that he brought up Robert F. Kennedy about the measles stuff, and then talk about Tulsi Gabbard. That's why when you told me, I'm like, come on, let's do this. Let's talk about that. Because those are current events, those are relevant. Because right now the hearings are going on for all the appointees from Donald Trump, and Robert F. Kennedy, he's being confirmed. What I don't think he has been at the at the confirming yet, but he is trying to be the Department of Health, so and Human Services, and it's a lot of down talks about it. There's a lot of people being criticized of his confirmation, especially by doctors. And you mentioned the senator from Hawaii. There's other senators too, even with the Democrats and the Republicans. But he's going to get scrutinized. He is going to be attacked, and they're going to go hard after him because he was a former Democrat, especially from the blue side. So it's very interesting to see that, and I can't wait to for you to talk more about about this whole measles outbreak. What is it about? Because or whatever else you're going to talk about, because it's very important for us to share and put information out there, because that's what we're about. Is the Uce is we're sharing and put information, and let the audience who are viewing us right now and who are listening to us in the future later down the road, and form their own opinions and ideas and thoughts about what's going on.
Yeah. So, like I said, through the resources I found, I normally go to YouTube first to even just put in the name and see what they have. But to my surprise, cousin, like I told you when we were talking about this, is like, I didn't have my X, and I went back to X before Twitter now. Well, it used to be called Twitter. So I was really surprised of the information that they're gathering and how much information they have on this kind of stuff. Because, like you said, the main media, which is the main newscast that we're so accustomed to, depending which news broadcast that you're listening to.
Yeah.
Now, can you help me with that? Which one is the on Donald Trump's side? Is it Fox? I believe Fox is like
Fox,
all of it supports Trump, right? And then NBC, what's the other one? CBS and
CNN.
CNN.
Yeah.
So those are like the Democrats, right?
They
Or
favor the Democrats.
Yeah.
So what I've seen, yeah.
So where am I going with this, guys? Is as us regular, no, I want to say regular folks, as us people, the people, we're tired of hearing both sides. Because if you're tuning in, you realize that that's all that is. They're just trying to pool our votes and get our favor if that's who we believe that's telling the truth. Well, X, it seems to me, I come across a lot of folks that actually does their homework. They're passionate about this, and whatever the reason is why they're passionate, and they do a lot more deeper research on it. We came across on X. I wish I'm sorry because I should have pulled it up, but I
That's
just want to
okay.
kind of summarize what I came off of it. Is where I found that the I don't know if he's a mayor or a governor of Hawaii is where he was advocating or standing there like he's against it. And one of his things that he kept on putting on the camera to us is like he was one of the only, allegedly, the only one that used to be a doctor and is a doctor or practiced medicine. So he's more of an expert versus JF, Robert Kennedy, who has no kind of background in medicine. On top of that, he's not a scientist. So that was the argument because for Robert F. Kennedy, he's more on the what is he? Cuz do you know? Just on top of your head, he's like it's besides his name being so popular, he also advocates for
He's the one that they try to keep.
economy.
Yeah, he's the one that they suppressed because he's always advocating for holistic ways of healing, healthy ways of
Mm,
eating. You know,
yeah,
get rid of all the red dyes and all that nonsense that are being put in the food in the United States. The corn syrup, the dye, food coloring, and
yeah,
everything. That's Robert F. Kennedy. He's all about that. So that's why not only the doctors, because they have to prescribe a lot of different medications, but we don't even want to talk about that. The food industry, those different ingredients that Robert F. Kennedy is wanting to attack. That's what they're worried about. And what is that?
yes,
It's boiled down to money. It's all about the money.
yeah. At least that's Oh well, you're absolutely right. It's all about the money. So to get back to what I was saying was, so that you have the governor of Hawaii, and he makes an appealing point. Then the thing that me personally, my personal opinion is, I don't like when you're trying to throw the fact. Well, what shocked me first is like he said it's about 30,000, I think, or 40,000 Samoans residents in the state of Hawaii alone. Now I'm kind of pivoting because it kind of really it's made me even ask more questions. Okay, well
No,
then
that's good.
if there's 40,000 Samoans in the state of Hawaii, why are we not like the residents in New Zealand and Australia? Where am I going with that? I don't see them on the media. You don't see our people on the newscast, on the billboard, or just any of that kind of this realm of media. And the only time you see Islanders is in the music world, and that's about it. But you don't see them on this sector of industry, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it's just our own people, or maybe we're getting gatekept or blocked from these things where it's just Hawaiian residents that are getting promoted for it. I don't know. I'm asking these questions. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it feels like. Then again, I don't even see how actual Native Hawaiians being their own representative. But that's another topic to talk about down the road, right? And then anyways, that's where I'm going at with this. I'm not just like, wait a minute, if there's 40,000 in Hawaii, but we don't even see representation of Hawaii for our community, right?
Yeah.
Besides our own local people doing their own stuff with church and stuff like that. And I know the only way to go to American Samoa is through Hawaii. So not only that we talked about in our previous episode that our terminal is based all the way so far away. I don't know where it's at now, but from my own experience, just hearing from family members, loved ones talk about this. So not only we're being mistreated at the airport, But then you want to throw that in our face, like, oh yeah, he did this to Samoa back in 2019. It's kind of really hard for me to believe what you're saying, Governor. Well, you're not even helping our own people in the States. That's just my opinion on that part. But then now you go back to Samoa, right? I looked that up. It had nothing to do for my research, and then thank you to the guy. I post him down here. I'm trying to find it, but for the sake of time, I don't have it on top of my head. But I found one guy who's under the comments. He was saying on this video of that governor, he was just like, well, can you just tell the other side of the story instead of just trying to paint it like this man is the reason? Because he wasn't the reason. The vaccination that Robert F. Kennedy was talking about was a year back. It wasn't even a year 2019 of what these guys are claiming for about that. Oh, if he was part of that reason. No. The whole thing of vaccination that Robert F. Kennedy was talking about when he went to go visit Samoa was a year before that. And matter of fact, the data shows that Tonga and Fiji was also affected by it. But because of like the short clip that I posted, Samoa gathered their leaders of church and then the chiefs, the Macais, to bring them together to come into what should they do. And they did what they did, and that's what happened. They just closed everything down before the COVID happened in 2020. Nobody even talks about that. Samoa's government was one of the first in the world of leaders who stopped people from flying in and out. Like, that's how smart. Nobody ever shed the light of like the genius of leaderships that we have back home who were able to think that ahead and shut down the airport from coming in and out. Matter of fact, there's a family that does their stuff on YouTube who made a living out there. They're no longer there, but they're there. They were there, and they went for a vacation in Samoa and ended up making a life out there because there was no airplane flying in and out in Samoa during that whole sickness that we're talking about, and it rolled all the way to 2020, which, as we all know, was the year where COVID really just put the world on pause, So where am I getting at with this? At the end of the day, like I said on the short video, or this video that I posted on YouTube and everywhere on our social media, I don't personally think that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. had anything to do with the measles spread. That was way before, but these guys higher up that's up there is trying to butcher the man and make it all that it is him. As we all know, Dr. Fauci and his advocates, that's another story, like it's kind of like who's right, who's wrong, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at with that one, cousin.
People are like to portray him as the problem. Like I said earlier, the doctors are coming out and trying to blame RFK for all these things and to talk about the measles in Samoa, the outbreak, just like how they're talking about the vaccines, that he's trying to take away a vaccine, but he's not trying to take a vaccine. He's just trying to make sure that the right vaccines are out there, So this whole measles thing is like, where the hell did that come from?
Trying to pin him on something, man. And
Yeah.
that was about, 4 years ago? 5 years ago, maybe?
I've heard of the measles outbreak, but I've never heard about the connection with Robert F.K. And not since you brought it up. So that video was very informational for me.
What caught my attention, right? It's not only that the governor of Hawaii was saying that, there's 40,000 of Samoans that live in Hawaii. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with the thing with Samoa? Like, so you basically trying to gaslight it, like, oh, make us, suck me in because I'm Samoan. My mother-in-law lives in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what? Well, what came to mind first was like, damn, there's like almost 60,000 of the population in American Samoa.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there's 40,000 in Hawaii. But like I said earlier, I'm like, okay, so if there's 40,000, why are our people not in the government system? Or maybe they are. We don't know. That's why we always open the invitation for those professional people to come on our podcast, shed some light on it, give us some information, help us understand. We really want to know these stuff, And then the last thing before I close this segment out of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the fact that the report, and this is okay, this is an actual doctor that reported these reports saying that Samoa was not affected by the measles spread like how badly Tonga and Fiji had it. And I'm just okay. Well, we never heard. How come they don't bring that up in these arguments? Well, of course they're not going to bring it up because they're not part of our territory. Even though Samoa ain't part of the U.S. territory too, but they're trying to use American Samoa as a bridge to make it like, hey, look at that, so our Polynesian people can like be distracted and go. That's just where I'm at. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, shut the fuck up, man. It's all bullshit, man.
Anything just to put it out there. So
yeah,
that was a good one. That was I enjoyed that. So thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. You have anything on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
No, I'm just excited to see his appointment when he's in front of that committee and see how it goes. Let's see if these doctors' voices and the questions from the senators, the committee, see how it turns out. Because right now, this is the week where everyone's getting interviewed.
Yeah, man. But that's what we have with the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. guys. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about some of the big controversies surrounding our very own Tulsi Gabbard, who was born in American Samoa, right? And then the family moved and she grew up in Hawaii. And I believe she stayed in India for a little bit. I don't know how much. But she has some strong views on foreign policy, and not everyone agrees with them. The reason why we want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard is because she's Pacific Islander. And also, Mofanua's friend brought it to our attention that it'd be nice for us to just talk about it. And so here we are. Now, first up, let's talk about her stance in Syria. Some of you may think this is boring, but I really like this stuff, and I'm glad we're talking about it. Gabbard has been a vocal critic. If you have followed her, you will hear how she speaks, and she's very out there. She's been a vocal critic of the U.S. military interventions, especially in the Middle East. She's even met with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, which raised a lot of eyebrows. You can see why. Some people see this as a peace building effort, while others argue that, by meeting with Assad, she was supporting a leader accused of terrible human rights violations. So, if she's running U.S. intelligence, does that mean she's going to push for less intervention, even when it might be necessary for national security? Then let's talk about her view on Russia. Now, before I get to Russia, I forgot to talk about Tulsi's military background, so you know where you can form your opinions. Tulsi Gabbard's appointment as the director of national intelligence. So, shortening for that, the acronym DNI. So, this is a huge role that involves overseeing all the U.S. intelligence agencies, from the CIA to the NSA, making sure our government has the information it needs to make important decisions on national security. So, the question is, because I already mentioned Syria and I'm about to mention Russia, is Tulsi Gabbard the right person for this job? And that's why I want to break it down on the key points, the strengths, the concerns, and the questions we all need to think about. By the end of this episode and this live, you'll have a better idea on where you stand on this appointment. So stick with us, okay? We're going to love to hear back from you. So her military experience, you all know she's a lieutenant colonel within the U.S. Army Reserves. She's been in combat, she's been to Iraq, and so forth. Her military experience gives her insight into the kind of intelligence our military needs on the ground. But the DNI job is more than just military intelligence. It's about overseeing all 18 intelligence agencies in the U.S., like the CIA, the FBI. Okay, I mentioned that earlier. She has a great military experience. It's not clear if she has the deep expertise needed for the civilian intelligence. That's the one that we need to keep in mind. Okay, so now Gabbard was only on the House Foreign Affairs Committee while she was in Congress. This gave her a front row seat to discussions about foreign policy, security issues, and intelligence. That's why I believe that she was appointed by Donald Trump as the DNI. Now let's go ahead and skip down to Russia. What do you think about Russia, bro? You know what? Rhetorical question, because everybody have their thoughts about Russia, but in reference to Tulsi, while most U.S. politicians treat Russia as a serious threat, especially after things like election interference and cyber attacks, Gabbard has been much more relaxed about the threat Russia poses. Some say this could be a problem, especially since intelligence agencies in the U.S. spend a lot of time tracking Russian activity. If Gabbard doesn't see Russia the same way, could it affect intelligence priorities? So these foreign policies views, while they make sense to some people, could be seen as risky when it comes to making decisions about intelligence and security. She's definitely not the typical pick if you think of traditional hard line national security leaders. Ain't that something to think about, bro? What do you think about that? People could take her serious?
I think people are taking her serious because when she came on the scene, or at least the first time I seen her is when she went after a few of the main guy, the main people that was talking. Right. Of course, the one that stands out is the one with the Kamala Harris and stuff, with the debate and stuff like that. But I think as far as the the parties go, I'm not sure because I'm not a person that's really in tune with politics. Just from my own personal view of things, is like the first time I've heard of her. One, I didn't even know she was like had a piece of Samoan in her, right?
Right.
I just heard like, man, who is this woman that's with authority and actually hitting some facts that going against like Kamala and all of them and really talking and backing it up.
Yeah.
And the stuff that she's fighting for and arguing about is almost the same as like Donald Trump and them. Because
Mm-hmm.
they're tired of it. Because of course I knew, what was it, a few years ago when she was fighting, all she wants to just bring the troops back home, right? That was her whole fight. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. She's a vet, or she's still serving. And she just wants her brothers and sisters that she fought alongside with to come home safe. Because for a war and something that, as we know, or I would like to think, rich people control in this world and have our people just go out there and fight because we can't afford anything. That's what we signed up for, whether it's your
Yeah.
sons or
Mm-hmm.
daughters, People are just taking orders and stuff. But that's why I look at it like this, because just to go off of what you were saying too, one of the old security, that position that she's going for, I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it was like an older gentleman, and I believe, I'm not sure what news media that was bringing him on to talk about, do you think she's fit for the position? He said absolutely not. She knows nothing about it, like what you just mentioned, right? So I looked into this guy, like, well, who is this dude? Finding out that this dude used to be under Donald Trump's when Donald Trump was president, and he was doing that whole security, intelligence, or whatever. The point of this guy was he was that old school thing, like he didn't care about He just wanted to be wanted America. His practice was to make America feel like we're the bullies and we're going to be stepping on country's throat. Like listen to what we say, or like the Clintons, like Hillary Clinton, that kind of
Yeah.
clip. You know what I'm saying? People are tired of that. You know what I'm saying? America is tired of that. Why? You know, so I went back and I'm like, okay, who is this guy? And the only thing that came to mind was like, dude, this is a guy like that movie War Machine or Machine War, the one where Brad Pitt starred in. He was like the general that they sent out to Iraq, and they portrayed that, you know, like it was Obama's time. And he was sent out there too because he was so used to being like that old school mentality. Oh, I'm out here to just make sure that we're at war. We're gonna let everybody know that this is America. We're not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
You know, it was that kind of stuff. And he was trying to ask the President Obama at that time was like, send more troops out. But the whole point of Obama presidency, like, no, we're bringing our people back. There's no war. There's no need for war.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you all watch Machine War, kind of like, yeah, it's a nonfiction, but that's how I think about this older gentleman who was saying that she doesn't fit this position to take on this responsibility.
Right.
And going off of that, who are we to even say that? Because now, us as Americans, we voted for Donald Trump to be the president. Even like when he had the position, right? But he wasn't the president. He had no background, no history, and he became a president 4 years ago. So, president, I mean, he had no kind of political practices or nothing. And I think that's where, we got to give this person the chance, right?
Yeah.
You know how it is. And both parties are going to just have to work together to give that presidency and their team the opportunity to get it done. But you know how that goes, man. It happened
Exactly.
to Obama's time. It happened to Trump's time.
All the time.
Biden's time.
Yeah.
It just always happens. So, that's
Like
where I'm at with that one, cousin.
Like why we can't just put our differences aside and just focus on what's right for the people, right?
Yeah.
What's right for the country. The people spoke. Donald Trump is in the White House, and these are the people that he picked. And we specifically speaking on Robert F. Kennedy, and then now Tulsi Gabbard. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, and by thinking about whether Tulsi Gabbard is actually qualified for the Director of National Intelligence position, DNI. She has a lot. Let's think about it. She has a lot of military experience, which is definitely valuable. She's been real world impact of intelligence on the battlefield. But the DNI job isn't just about military intelligence. It's about overseeing a massive network of agencies, managing thousands of people, and coordinating intelligence across the government. Second, people believe she's underqualified for this role because she lacks the deep experience in the intelligence world. Gabbard never worked in an intelligence agency like the CIA or NSA, and running them is a very difficult job from serving in the military or even Congress. So, does she have the technical knowledge and management skills needed for such a complex job? It's tough to say, but her experience in foreign policy, her understanding of military needs, as we mentioned earlier about her background, and her fresh perspective on intelligence could bring something new to the table. What do you think? Why not give her a chance? So, after everything we've discussed, what do you think?
Yeah.
Is Tulsi Gabbard the right person for the job of DNI? Does her military experience and unique perspective makes her a great choice? Or do her controversial views and lack of direct intelligence experience make this appointment too risky? I want you to think about it. This is a big role. This is huge. And the future of U.S. national security could depend on how well the next DNI performs. If you've got thoughts, opinions, or even questions, we'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment right now. I see nobody still on here, but that's okay. you can send us a message or connect with us on social media. On here at YouTube, we have a Facebook, Uce. We have TikTok, Uce. Also, we have Instagram, Uce. Or you can even go on our website, uce.com, and send us an email, service@uce.com. And thanks for listening, man. We'll be reading your some of your responses on the next episode. So help us out, engage with us. That's all I got for you, bro.
Okay, so you know what? My buddy was talking about, like, he brought up Tulsi Gabbard because he was like, "What's up with her being a spy?" Because he feel like it could be right, and I asked him why. He's like, because everything in the social media, not social media, but media was saying that she was a spy, Hillary Clinton, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, so you don't believe the first thing that you see? Did you even do your homework? He's like, bro, I'm just human, bro. It came on there. It became a thing that you keep hearing it. It's almost like a commercial. When you see it all the time, you end up believing it. He's like, so Uce, help me persuade my thoughts and my opinion, thinking that she is a spy. Do you have anything on that one?
I think, like you said, it's the media. It's what people hear and see. And like you said earlier, we have to do our research and just.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's out there, like you mentioned about the media earlier, who's controlling the media and controlling what's coming out? That's why people go on TikTok. I mean, TikTok. You learn a lot from there. People now are like moving towards X because you're free to speak there. Remember, once upon a time, Facebook, it was everything was being censored, so you didn't
Mm-hmm.
get everything, and we know that that's a fact. So that's why people went to either Rumble. If you, I know some of you heard about Rumble and X. Ever since Elon Musk purchased X, people were able to go there and speak freely. So it depends on where you go and get your information. That's what you're going to believe because you're just going to information that's being put out. If information is being put out that Tulsi's a spy, then that's all you're going to hear. If you go to whatever media you're going to, and that's all you hear, that's what you're going to believe. But it's good to go to other social medias and do your research, and you'll hear other people talk about it. Like I mentioned earlier about her relationship with Russia, because she's out there doing her thing out in different countries, and that's why she's labeled as a spy, because she's not too hard on them. She went to Syria, to Russia. Does that constitute as a spy because you're speaking to them and you're trying to you chose a little bit of sympathy? Those are the kind of questions you want to look at. Why is she being called a spy? That's the kind of questions I would ask. Why did Hillary Clinton call him a spy? Why are these people calling Tulsi Gabbard a spy? So I'm glad your friend brought this up, and it's something good to look at, because I was thinking too, like, yeah, why are they calling her a spy? I want to know. So I do like to do research, and like you, I do. I go on different websites. Different, YouTube, X, TikTok. I try to go to all platforms so I can, see, and that's why the goal of this podcast is we want to bring stuff to you, and then you formulate whatever opinion you will have, and then you make up your mind by that. Because we're not here to try and tell you, that Tulsi is a spy. Tulsi is going to be a great DNI. We're just here to give out the information and for you to gather all that, and then we're not here to persuade you to do anything. We just want to educate you, and then you form your opinions. And I'm glad your friend brought that up. That's why it's like, let's go ahead and do Robert F. Kennedy, and let's do Tulsi Gabbard.
There you go, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to close it out with my own personal opinion. I don't think she's a spy. And this is my own reason. I'm just going to give y'all a little bit. I'm going to share this screen and give y'all why I think. If y'all see everybody that watches UFC, Khabib, Umana, well, I forgot how to pronounce his name.
Oh, I wouldn't even try. I'm not going to try.
Yeah. Khabib, just to name a few, Islam, and my man right here, this one, Kamsa. These are very popular guys in the UFC fights. Habib is good friends with what is his name? One of our UFC fighters, champion guys, Daniel Cormier. Where am I going at with this, guys? A lot of our Americans have went to Russia. These are UFC fighters, and for those that understand the MMA arena, Joe Rogan talks a lot about it too. It helps you find peace. It makes you realize, for mixed martial arts, especially mixed martial arts, I forget the name of the fighting practice, but it makes you think different. Because I have one of the Usos that came off for MMA, Jiu-Jitsu. There you go, Jiu-Jitsu,
Okay.
right, and wrestling and stuff like that. It makes you think out the box. It makes you just forget about everything else and try to escape, try to figure a way to get yourself out of harm's way, right? Getting choked out, or broken bones and stuff like that. And a lot of these guys, with the whole Conor McGregor fight with Habib, these were both countries, two men representing their own country. This man, Habib, is a great example of what Russian country is with their religion, Allah, and all that stuff, right? It's just crazy because you're like, what do you think about Russia? Well, I'll be honest with you. This is what I think about Russians. I think about Habib and all of them. The characters that they bring. They're almost like us Samoans. It's the way our culture is. Like, they don't go with the Western world. When I say Western, I mean American and the Europe. The whole of like, oh, you're gonna be somebody to do this. Status is what matters, and then you do something to who you're not. You know what I'm saying? Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know how much a percentage she has of Samoan, but even if you have a drip of Samoan, I know that you're gonna have that Samoan culture in you because that's just how we are. We install our roots in our
Yep.
children. And like I said in the video, man, our island, our number one thing is God, family, and that thing matters a lot to us because it represents who you are. So when we're talking about being a spy for somebody, other countries, we're very loyal. That's another thing. People don't understand that, especially in the U.S. I mean, y'all don't understand the loyalty that Samoan and just Polynesian people have when we're with somebody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And here's another example. Queen Elizabeth, right? One of her best friends was the Tongan Queen back then. You remember that documentary where the Tongan Queen went out there? And why were they best friends? I mean, we want to talk history and going back to roots. Dwayne Johnson, one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Why do you think he has a lot of relationship with people? It's the loyalty that the man has. With Vince McMahon, that loyalty for WWE took it a long way. So that's why I say that I believe she is not a spy. She's loyal. She joined the military. She's in the service, and it's just what we stand for. That's where I'm at. Now, if people are going to disagree, that's your own opinion. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own, cuz. I just wanted to close it out like that, man.
Another Uce motivation. Kindness given is a seed sown. Its harvest grows when we pay it forward. Paying it forward creates a ripple effect of generosity and positivity. When we extend kindness to others without expecting anything in return, we inspire them to do the same, building a stronger, more connected community. It's a reminder that even small acts of goodwill can lead to profound, lasting change.
And I'm Morphin Nua.
Nam Ili.
And vibe the drive. Why use? Tune in and vibe the drive. Why use? Tune in and vibe the drive. Why use? Tune in and vibe the drive.